Hello everyone, thank you for checking out mine and Danny's webpage, and more importantly this video, which I have named Brad's Notes for Gringos, or in Espanol, Notas de Brad para Gringos. What we're going to do here is we're going to be going over all the details that you are going to need to know to safely travel to and from Mexico, have fun, and return back home. If this is your first time in Mexico, don't fret. Navigating Mexico is actually easier than even getting around here in Brooklyn, believe it or not. Luckily for you all, what I've done is I've actually compiled a list of all of the mistakes that I made when I first went to Mexico for the first multiple times. And what I've done is I've put it on a list here for you all, just so when you get there you won't have any surprises, essentially. So, first things first, it is time to leave all of this behind in the cold and head to warmer weather down south and get to the beach. So take anything you'd want on the flight with you, but just don't forget to bring along your Mexican spirit. Vamos! Bienvenidos a Mexico, everybody! Now, I hope everyone had a nice flight and you've brought your Mexican spirit, as I have, to Mexico. And I hope we're all really getting geared up to celebrate mine and Danny's wedding. So, while we're doing that, let's talk about a few things that will make your experience here a little bit better, and so you guys can enjoy your few days or weeks, however long you're going to stay, that you're going to have here. First things first that we're going to go over is our beloved addiction to our iPhones and our electronics. So, let's talk about that. Cell phone reception. Expect slim to none. Even if you're trying to roam, most likely that's going to be a problem in the Tulum area. Even Wi-Fi is going to be spotty, no matter where you are. So expect to stay off the grid. Electricity. All places are going to have it. Every now and then the power blows. That's going to affect all of your devices. Air conditioning. Most low to mid-range options for hotels and lodging are not going to have it. High-range options may. Because there's typically a strong breeze from the ocean, you really won't need the air conditioning. It's not going to be a problem, especially if you're staying on the beach, not near the beach. Mosquitoes and bugs. It's moist and tropical. Expect that. Get some bug spray. Make sure you do that once you get off the plane. Water. As the legacy goes, don't drink it. Just about every place is going to have running water. You can brush your teeth, but don't drink that water. Bring your own bottled water. Make sure you have extras in the car and carry it with you for emergency reasons because it's hot, etc. Food. A lot of good food in the area. Rule of thumb is that while you're going by an establishment, even if it's a hole in the wall, if you see a bunch of people sitting outside of a restaurant or a food truck, whatever it may be, most likely that's a really tasty and delicious place to try and check out. So don't be afraid. You're not going to die. Traveling to and from Cancun, the roads are actually fine. When you're renting a car, keep in mind it's going to cost you about $500. That includes a $300 deposit that you get back. So you pay $200 to actually rent the car, $300 is going to be a deposit. You get that back. Just budget $500 to rent the car. While you're driving, you're going to see a lot of speed bumps, and they're going to be placed randomly throughout the region. So you can be going 70 miles an hour, and you can be in the middle of nowhere, and you can run into a speed bump. Also, at those speed bumps, you may see locals trying to sell, food or knickknacks, whatever it may be, and they may even throw the speed bump out there purposefully, just so tourists slow down, so they can try and sell them something. So keep that in mind. Stray dogs and cats. Dogs can be really cute, and I know we're animal lovers here in the States, but you may not want to pet them. I did that a few times when I first went to Mexico, and thinking back on it, I kind of gross myself out now. But they're not the same dogs and cats that you see here in the States. They're really stray and wild and dirty. Lizards. Next topic. They're everywhere. They're small. They're harmless. You may even find some in your room. Just expect that. It's like finding a fly in your room. That's how common they are. Money. Before you leave the States, take out money, and when you get to Mexico, exchange it. You're going to want money on the drive down from Cancun to Tulum, just to make sure that you have enough funds if you need to get gas, you need to pull over, and you want to get food. What happened with us is you can be in the middle of nowhere at a rest stop, and you want to buy food or gas or whatever it may be, and the power's out. So they don't take credit cards. You need to have, I would say, $100 cash on hand at all times. And the way you can estimate that in pesos is whatever amount in dollars you want to have, you multiply by 10, and that's what you would have in pesos. Police checkpoints. While traveling, you're going to run into a few of these. They're just going to want to know where you're going, what your purpose is. They want to make sure you're not a terrorist, a cartel member, and they want to make sure you're wearing your seatbelt. If you're caught not wearing your seatbelt, they may even ask you for a bribe. Just give them 20, 30 bucks, whatever it is they want. It's a lot easier to do that than to not do it and for them to take you in, and who knows what happens after that. That was never an issue for us, but just know that it does happen. Just pay them off and be done with it and go on your way. The other thing with police checkpoints is that they wear really scary, large semi-automatic rifles. They're not going to shoot you, okay? But just know that they have them and it's really intimidating. Safety. Unlike what you hear on the news, the Cancun, Playa del Carmen, and Tulum areas are super safe. Police and locals, they don't want to mess with you because tourists are the reason that the economy stays afloat. And if they do mess with the tourists, the locals really look down upon that. As far as Tulum goes, Danny and I slept with our doors and windows open every night. And when we would leave for 6, 7, 8 hours a day to go check places out, and we never shut our front door. It's a very, very safe area. I would never consider doing that in Caledonia, Rochester, New York. It's definitely something you can do in Tulum. It's very safe. Kids, unless your children are used to traveling with less amenities, you may want to consider keeping them home. There's really not that much to do besides outdoor activities, and you're not going to have a lot of options for electronics. And for adults, this is going to be awesome because that's exactly what we want to do, is kind of quote unquote get off the grid. For kids, this can be a bit taxing. So totally up to you. Those are my recommendations. Take it or leave it. Okay, Gringos, so that's it. Thank you very much for taking a look at the website. As long as you follow all of those tips, you guys will be fine in your travels to Mexico. So with that, we want to thank you again for attending our wedding and celebrating our special day, and we're looking forward to seeing you there. So, hasta luego!